All right guys, welcome back to Gardening Grease, and on today's episode we are going to be building a new raised bed, a 4x8 foot raised bed. So come along. All right guys, some reasons why you might be considering a raised garden bed. One of which would be that you want to be able to control your soil. You might have some really heavy clay soil, or your ground may be so rocky that it is really difficult to work it in and try to amend your native soil. You may have allelopathic trees and plants in the area like we do. We have a lot of black walnut trees that put out toxicity, a juggling toxicity. So that's one of the reasons why we are doing some of our garden beds as raised beds for our very sensitive plants like the nightshade plants. We do have in-ground beds and we are putting more in-ground beds in, but we wanted to really control this soil in a couple of these, and then we wanted to keep the aesthetic theme rolling through more of the garden. So we will be done with the really tall raised beds, which ours are 19 inches tall, after we put in the two this year. So we're putting in one today with you guys, and then we're gonna end up putting another one in as we have the extra money to do so. Some tools that we're gonna use for this job is we do have our drill for putting the screws in. We're gonna change that bit out, and a tape measure. And we have miscellaneous screws around here. We're gonna take a look. These are all coated though, used for exterior use. That is very important so they don't rust and fall apart. So why spend a bunch of money on wood and everything just to have your beds fall apart? We are also going to grab a saw because we're gonna have to cut the 8-foot boards to make the end ones. So those are the cuts we need to make the end boards, the 4-foot. You need a saw, a speed square, and a pencil. If you do not have a saw, most of the big box stores that sell wood and the lumber yards will cut your wood for you. You sometimes get a cut for free, or you pay per cut. It's pretty cheap. Okay, we picked up 6 2x10 by 8s, and we got this 4x4, but we're gonna return that because we found an old piece of 4x4 we're gonna use. And we are using the treated wood. The important thing to keep in mind with this wood is that you have the MCA, the micronized copper azole. This is not like the old treated wood that we know of from back in the day, which is not good for your health or your garden. Now, I know that there will be discussion about not using the pressure treated wood, and I've done an extensive amount of research on this topic. I pretty much do a ton of research on everything that we do before we do it. I'm just that kind of person. I suggest you do the same thing before you use anything new in your garden, whether it's the wood that you use or whether it's fertilizers or seed companies, whatever it is you're getting into. Do an adequate amount of research so that you feel safe about a decision that you're making. We feel safe using the pressure treated wood. 2004 is when they stopped using the arsenic and chromium in pressure treating of wood. And they went to 2 different types. One is what we use, the micronized copper azole. And another one is the, let me check my notes. The ACQ, the alkaline copper quaternary. I believe I'm saying that correctly. So the MCA, the micronized copper azole, and the ACQ, alkaline copper quaternary. And so I don't know about the quaternary one. I don't have that available in my area, but we have the micronized azole in our area. That's why I did the research on that one. That is for my area. We are in Pennsylvania. We are in the United States. I do not know what is available outside of the United States, so you should look into that. It's pretty chilly out still. It's 50 degrees, but so we're gonna start a fire to warm up. He says it's not 50. That's what the weatherman says, but it feels pretty chilly still. So we're gonna start a fire so we can warm up by it while we work on building a garden bed. All right, so now we have 4 4-foot boards and 4 8-foot boards. Okay, so we're gonna start the actual building on our driveway because it is a flat surface. If we build it in our yard, it may not come out exactly square and plumb. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that we're providing, and if you like this video and would like to see some more, why don't you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Hit that like button while you're at it. When you purchase these screws, they usually come with a bit that matches the screw pattern on the top of them. I think we already opened this one. Yeah, here it is. So it comes with a bit and it matches that.
No, that's not right.
No?
But that's how.
And that's your outcome.
3-inch.
Okay.
Sink it.
Making sure that your boards line up, because even though we have a concrete driveway, it's cracked. It may not be completely level. And some of the boards are bowed a little bit, so you want to line them up as good as you can. All right, we put 3 screws in each one for now. You may also be considering putting in a raised bed because you don't want to be down on your knees while gardening, or if you have any back issues, you don't want to be bending over as much. Now, a little bit of wisdom, a little tidbit for you on that one. Ours are 19 inches tall, and I do not find that that is tall enough to help with any back strain. I still find myself bending over, having the kneel on the ground and reach over and using the edge of the bed as support for my back, like putting my belly on it and reaching over. So if you're doing it for back issues, I would go much taller, and I would also go skinnier. I would not make it 4 feet wide where you have to reach all the way to the center. I would probably go with 3 feet wide, and you can make it as long as your property allows or you desire. Mind you, the longer you go, if you're going around it with wheelbarrows, it'll take a little longer, but if you don't care, then you don't care. All right, so we brought our base piece back here. We're gonna line it up exactly where we want it. This wood is heavy. We don't want to move any of this more than we have to.
Just measure it out. I'm gonna tap it to it.
Okay. I'm right here on this mark. This is 30. You see, we need to go over a good, we just lift and move. Yeah. Another really great reason for growing in the raised beds is that your soil will actually warm up faster in the raised beds than what it does in the ground. So you can technically grow sooner in it, and it's easier to create a cover so you can extend your growing season. So our other beds are 16 inches from the sidewalk. So we got this one 16 inches from the sidewalk, and we did 30 inches between the beds because that is how much room I need to get my wheelbarrow through, which it is a pretty wide wheelbarrow. It's a snug fit, but it'll make it. I think something that would be really useful if you're trying to not kneel as much and you're trying to save your back would be to put a ledge on it that you can sit on. Now, I can sit on the edge of mine. They're 2 inches wide. Well, when they cut your wood, they say it's a 2 by whatever. It's not actually 2 inches. It's like 1.5 inches. But after you sit on it for a while, your booty does get sore. So having a nice edge, screwing a nice edge down onto there, wide enough, at least a couple inches, like 4 inches or so, like putting a 2x4 maybe around it, would be adequate enough that you could comfortably sit on it and then lean into your bed. we're just double checking the height of the beds to make sure we get our reinforcing pieces at the right height. We are 19 inches.
What are they, baby? 19.
Yeah. Look, there's two.
Monkey see, monkey do there.
There really isn't a need to measure out exactly where these are going or put them anywhere specific. We're just essentially trying to hold the top layer and the bottom layer in line with each other by doing this, and it's helping reinforce with the weight of the soil. But really, these are some heavy-duty boards. On our other beds, we use 6 mil plastic, and I thought when I had ordered my plastic this time that I got the 6 mil. I didn't. I got 4 mil, but that's okay with me too. And I got this only 3 feet wide. That was the slimmest that I was able to find it, and about I think 50 to 100 feet long. And we're just gonna line the inside of the wood, not the base of it. We've done the plastic lining for a couple of reasons. One of which is we aren't the only family that eats from our garden beds. We feed other families and we enjoy doing that. We don't want the families that we feed from our garden beds to ever feel some kind of way about the food that they're getting from us. And I'm putting an overhang over the outside of this. I am going to go around with trim boards eventually. I meant to do it on those. I didn't do it yet. But I'm going to go around with trim board and make them look really pretty. And I'm just stapling it in. So they may not want to do the research and automatically assume, oh, it's pressure treated wood. There's chemicals in that. We don't want to eat that. We don't ever want somebody to feel that way. Another really good reason for using the plastic is yes, pressure treated wood is going to last a long time. It's going to last even longer if it's not coming in contact with that soil. So yes, it's coming in contact around the bottom that touches the ground, which you could put plastic so that it comes up around that bottom edge and out the bottom. The wood will eventually start to decay from that soil being up against it. But if you have the plastic there, it's not going to decay as quickly. So that's another plus for using it. These beds are going to last us a really long time. All right, and that is how we build our 4x8 raised beds. These are 19 inches tall, and we lined only the wood part in the plastic, and we have an open floor on this. There's a ton of different ways to build raised beds, and we are going to make some videos on different ways of how to build those raised beds and videos on how we're putting our in-ground beds in. Depending where they're placed on a property depends on how we are actually going to build it. So stay tuned for more videos that we have coming out. And if you want to see how we fill our raised beds, we have that video coming up very soon. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell and the like button. Thank you guys for watching Garden and Grease. Have a good day.